Welcome, everyone. We're going to begin in about 2 minutes. Please know that closed captioning is available, and we will be recording this session. We will be with you shortly. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Trevor Gullidge, and I am the Associate Director for Orientation and Transition Programs. We're super excited to have you here today. I will be serving as our moderator for the UB Family Connect, Commencement, Senior Week, and beyond. We will be giving a little bit of a 40-minute presentation from a variety of campus partners that will focus on different commencement exercises and information to help you celebrate your students' big accomplishment and life beyond UD. For the remaining 10 to 20 minutes, we'll get all your questions answered through our Q&A, which you can see at the bottom of your screens. You can go ahead and enter any questions you might have, and we will try our best to get to them. Please know that we'll get to the questions at the end of the presentation, just in case any of your questions get answered throughout the presentation. Additionally, closed captioning is available today if needed. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'd like to introduce Beth Brand, the Vice President and University Secretary, to get us started.
Thank you, Trevor. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking time to be with us this evening. I'm hoping we can provide you answers to all your questions and get you prepared and excited for commencement weekend. I'm the Vice President University Secretary. I'm also a UD alum and have been with the university for 17 years. And I'm thrilled to welcome you. Can you advance the slide, Trevor? Thanks. You can keep going. I just want to note that all of our information is on commencement.udel.edu. So for any additional details that you feel like you might have missed, please, we direct you there. And of course, you can also address questions to commencement@udel.edu. So I'm going to start off, if you go to the next slide, Trevor, just providing some general information about the weekend. So we have convocations taking place during the week and commencement. And I think many people say, well, what's the difference between convocations and commencement? And, I'll outline for you a little bit about that here. Convocation is where students go to where their major, their college is. It's presided over by the dean of the college. And this is where graduates will walk across the stage, have their name called, and be recognized for graduating. We culminate the week, and convocations go on throughout the week, and we culminate on Saturday morning with commencement, which is the full university celebration and ceremony, and that is where degrees are actually conferred, presided over by President Asanas, and that is where our commencement speaker will be will be with us. And if you haven't heard by now, this year's commencement speaker is NFL quarterback and alumnus Joe Flacco. So we're very excited to hear what he has to say about his amazing comeback this year and what it meant to be a Blue Hen. Ticketing, all these events are ticketed, and students have had access to claim their tickets for all the various events for the past few weeks, and we're seeing a really good response and continue to make sure students are following up and getting the tickets that they need for you and families. Parking. The next slide has a bunch of information about parking. Our website has information, but parking is free. We have ADA parking available for those of you who are concerned with that. We have a giant area to park all around the stadium, and so there should be no problems there. Security, we take it very seriously and have our stadium has a new system called the Evolve system that is a quick way to enter the stadium, but also to be scanned for any weapons or any items of concern through that process. And there's several rules on the website about bag sizes and what's approved and what's not approved to bring into the stadium. So we encourage you to check there if there's any doubts about what you'd like to bring along with you. Accessibility, we just please reach out to us and let us know. We have plenty of accommodations for this, and we will do our best to make sure that it is a smooth process for those with needs and accessibility needs. Here's more information about the seating and parking. Again, this can be accessed. We'll make this available to you to actually click on, and this can be accessed through the Commencement website. And so we are looking forward to your questions. One final thing I wanted to say was we are very mindful of events taking place around the country related to protests and student protests all around, and we're working very hard to ensure that these ceremonies are as we can be disruption free and really truly recognize our graduates and the accomplishments that they've had in their last several years. We're so excited for them to become Blue Hen alumni, and we're going to make it a great day and a great week. So I think we can keep going to Senior Week.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Fry. I'm the Associate Director for Programming in the University Student Centers. And I'm really excited to talk with you about some upcoming exciting opportunities for seniors before they graduate on campus with our Senior Week programming. So this is an overview of our schedule of events. I'm going to highlight a few here right now, and then in the next few slides, there's a few that I really want to get a chance to talk about. So on Monday, this upcoming Monday, May 6th, we have our senior cap decorating, just a really great way for students to get together, decorate their graduation caps. We provide supplies for them. We provide some light refreshments for students as well. So that will be happening in the Perkins Student Center from 5 to 8 p.m. On Tuesday, an annual event we do is called Senior Scoops, and it will be on the Trabant patio from 2 to 3:30 p.m. It's an ice cream give out event, just a fun way for seniors to celebrate this week with just a nice little treat. I'll talk about the senior picnic once we go on to the next slide. And then on Thursday, May 9th, we have our bags and goodies. Again, this is a senior specific event where we're handing out some really fun treats and giveaways to our senior students that are graduating. That's happening from 12 to 5 p.m. on the Perkins Concourse. It's going to be first come, first serve. But again, just another way to celebrate seniors before they leave campus. And I'll talk about the senior fling and concert also once we get onto those slides. So the Senior Sunset Picnic is happening next week on Wednesday, May 8th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the North Green. This is one of the events where registration is required. It's an elevated, elegant picnic for seniors. It's free food, some upscale picnic seating. We'll have live music played by a trio of graduate students on campus from the music department. The last time I checked, registration was close to being full, so I'd encourage you to have your students register if they're interested in attending this event. Again, it's just a nice way to celebrate the end of the year. Free food, really elegant, little elevated event, and it's been an annual tradition for the last few years that people have really enjoyed. And then our senior fling and concert. So these events are happening both on Friday, May 10th. They're kind of the same event, but they're happening slightly separately. So our senior fling is this end of year carnival that we have on campus. A big difference I want to point out this year is in the past, it's been on the North Green. This year, we're moving down to the South Campus outside the football stadium. It's from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It is a totally free event for students. There's free food, novelties, carnival games, U-Dairy ice cream. The first 500 people that come to this event will get a free t-shirt from the event. And it's just a nice way, again, to enjoy the nice weather, have students come together, and it's for seniors. Other students can get there or can enjoy the event as well, but we're hoping to really celebrate our senior students. Following the fling, we move inside to the Bob Carpenter Center for our annual senior fling concert. Perfect. This year, our headliner is Young Gravy. We have our opener, Bryce Fine. Doors to the show start at 6:30, so the events overlap. The show will start at 7:30 p.m. with our opener, Bryce Fine, and then move on to Young Gravy. This is a completely free concert for students. Pre-registration is required for their tickets, but it is a completely free event for them. And it's something that seniors always look forward to at the end of the year. So we have a really great week of events coming up. Again, that's all going to be happening next week on campus. All of these events are free. Only the concert and the picnic require pre-registration. But other than that, they're open and totally welcome for all seniors to attend. And that's it.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Lauren Simeone. I'm the Associate Vice President of Alumni Engagement, a member of the class of 1995. And in September, I'll hit my 20-year anniversary working at UD. So I've had the pleasure of being part of graduation and life beyond graduation for a number of years here at the university. Next slide, please. A few things I'm going to talk on tonight around your graduates' life after UD, a few things around their professional success, ways that they can attend events, and a little bit more about what that entails, some ambassador and volunteer roles, ways for all of our Blue Hens, including your grad and yourselves, to show your pride, and then ways that folks can keep in touch with us. Next slide, please. So it's definitely not too late for your students to take advantage of some of the resources that have been made available to them through our Career Center on campus. There are a number of resources like career coaching, opportunities to network with alumni, job opportunities and employer connections. We've offered a variety of career fairs and recruiting events over the last couple of months. And then things like preparation resources around job search, interview preparation, things like that. And so again, it's not too late for your student to take advantage of the resources that our Career Center makes available to them. And the best way for them to learn more, if needed, is for them to contact udcareers@udel.edu. After your grad becomes an alum, there's also our official alumni network on LinkedIn, where your student can connect with thousands of other UD alums. And additionally, we do offer all Blue Hen graduates discounts on our professional and continuing studies programs. So those are opportunities that we will continue to email your graduate about over the next couple of months as we sort of start talking to them as an alum as opposed to a student. So I'll talk a little bit too around how to ensure that we have the right email address for your student to make sure that they're getting information like that. Next slide, please. So we've been holding events on campus and in areas around the country, and we do still hold some virtually for a number of years. There's our signature events like Alumni Weekend, which takes place typically the weekend after graduation. So this year that's May 31st through June 2nd, where we have a number of class reunions. We're having a great concert with a very popular band. And other programming that takes place over the course of the weekend. It's an opportunity for folks, should they choose to stay in our residence halls again, but a lot of the hotels are the first choice for some people. But it's a great opportunity for thousands of alums to come back to campus and relive their college days and learn about the new things that are happening on campus. Additionally, we do have programming around our homecoming football game in the fall, a great tailgate for folks. If they're choosing to come back to campus that weekend to meet up with friends, reconnect with professors or faculty members that were instrumental to their UD experience. So those are sort of our signature bookend events. So homecoming and alumni weekend each year. We have a number of events that take place in areas around the country where we have a large cohort of alumni. So think about the majority of the cities in the Mid-Atlantic area, quite a few activities in the state of Delaware, Philadelphia, New York, Boston, the Washington, D.C. area, Georgia, Florida, California, and then other events where it makes sense. For example, this year we had a great event around the Penn State football game in the fall, which was very well attended by students, alums, friends, parents as well. And then we offer things like our virtual book club and ways for people to engage with us virtually as well. So that if, regardless of where our alums end up after graduation, there's ways for them to stay connected. And our Alumni Association started travel programs again last year in conjunction with the university's 100th study abroad anniversary. There was a group of alums that traveled to France, which was actually where our very first study abroad trip was in 1923. And I will mention that we do not discriminate when it comes to our events that happen around the country. While some of them may be advertised as alumni events, we welcome all. So friends, parents, younger siblings, you name it. We really encourage everybody to take advantage of the various events that happen throughout the year. Next slide, please. When the time is right, we love for our alums to give us back their sort of time and talents, if you will, share them with current students as well as with other alumni. And there's a variety of ways in which our alumni can get involved through ambassador and volunteer roles, whether that's related to a student group or a club or a type of affinity group that your student might have been involved in over their time at the university, marching band, Black Alumni Organization, Nursing Alumni Network, Men's Crew, Hockey Alumni, you name it. A lot of colleges and departments offer opportunities for alumni to give back as well. There might be a favorite professor that might utilize alumni to come back and talk to their classes. And there are times when career or profession, sort of industry related opportunities exist for our alumni, as well as then opportunities for folks to volunteer in the region where they go to live, or potentially for a future reunion. If your student's interested in something like that, they can email volunteer@udel.edu to meet with a member of my team to learn more about those opportunities. I joke she's sort of like our matchmaker. She'll take the opportunity to learn about each individual's interests, skills, time available, and then do a little bit of matchmaking based on the opportunities that exist for them to give back to our university. Next slide. And of course, we're always looking for folks to help show their pride and tell the world how much they love being a Blue Hen or love that their child was a Blue Hen. We know this is a big time of transition for so many of you, for you and your grad. And so this is an easy way for people just to share the love of UD that they have with others, whether that be even something as simple as carrying a coffee mug at work or wearing your favorite sweatshirt. Tomorrow is our annual day of giving, May 1st, 2024. A gift of any size, of course, matters to the university. And we find that a lot of our young alums especially love to give back to a program that meant something to them. So again, wear that sweatshirt, maybe get a license plate for those in Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, or New Jersey, and think about ways to just simply show your pride and share it with other people. That really means a lot to our university community. And lastly, I'll touch on ways that you can keep in touch. We love to hear from our Blue Hens in terms of the great things that they've been doing since graduation, getting married, having babies, new jobs, things like that. So we have a very active presence on Facebook and Instagram. And I mentioned earlier that official alumni group on LinkedIn. that udel.edu/alumni-friends is our website, where we encourage everyone to go for the most up-to-date information about events and career resources, as well as volunteer opportunities and other ways to stay connected. And I'm going to drop into the chat. We do have a texting club. So we encourage all of our graduates to be sure that we have the most up-to-date information for them, so that we're not emailing them about things happening in Boston when they're living in the Denver area. So there's a simple form that they can fill out to ensure that we have the right contact information for them. And that way too, if we have a professor that's interested in having an alum come back to talk to their class, or students that are like, hey, I really need to talk to somebody in the fashion industry, once they sort of get settled, whether that's grad school or a new job, then that helps us know to potentially reach out based on the needs and interests of our students and other alumni. So I'll drop some information about that contact form in the chat. But we really hope that both you and your grads stay in touch with us. Blue Hens Forever is definitely our mantra. We hope that our alums stay connected to us in some capacity, knowing it may ebb and flow over the years, but everybody means a great deal to us. And they're joining a network of 205,000 living alums. So we want to ensure that it's a mutually beneficial relationship for everybody involved. Congrats to your grad.
Right. Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, everyone who presented. It was fantastic. So this does bring us to our Q&A portion. So we've been answering some questions as we can in the Q&A. So if you have any questions that weren't answered, feel free to put it in the Q&A chat, and we'll go ahead and try to answer some of these questions live.
Hi, Trevor. I'm back. A few people mentioned they came on late and had some questions about commencement and tickets. Every graduate gets 4 tickets to commencement. And I wanted to make the point that all these ceremonies are live streamed at UD Live. We dropped that in the chat, but if for friends and family that can't be with you, it's a great way to participate and see your graduates recognized. So make sure you tune in.
We've got lots of questions coming in, Beth, about car tickets and mobile tickets, and if we can print them. Do you have an answer for us, and we can get some of these out of the queue here?
That's a great question about printing. And I'm gonna have to ask my colleague Leah if they can be printed. I know they're available electronically, but not sure about the printing. So let me get the answer to that.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not completely sure, but I've told a few people, please reach out to the ticket office. They'll give you specific directions. It's athletics-tix, T-I-X, at udel.edu, and they will give you all those answers. There is a way to print them out. I'm unsure, but the ticket office will respond to you right away and let you know. And I can address a few other the ADA seating questions going on here as well. There have been a few questions about I've filled out the link, requested them. I haven't heard anything back. I believe the ticket office may wait until ticketing closes, and then they contact everyone who's requested ADA seating. And so you will hear from the ticketing office if your graduate has filled out that link to request ADA ticketing. A few questions too about whose name needs to be on the ticket. It really doesn't matter. The student can reserve them for their guests. It'll just be an ADA ticket. And then some questions about who can sit in the ADA section. Due to capacity reasons, it's kind of different for every venue. For example, the stadium where the learner business and economics ones, everyone can probably sit together because there's just a lot of capacity in that venue. In venues like the Bob Carpenter Center, we ask that because there's limited ADA seating available, that the person who needs the ADA seating sit there, and then a companion can sit with them, and then the rest of the guests may have to sit in general admission. So it's just because there's just not enough ADA seating to accompany all the guests, but it's slightly different for every venue, just given it's a capacity restriction thing.
And Leah, and for the benefit of the group, I shared in the chat just a couple of moments ago the instructions for how to print if you'd prefer not to have it on your
Awesome.
phone and you want a paper copy. The instructions are available there. If you run into any challenges, like Leah said, the athletics-tics at udel.edu will be a great resource to help troubleshoot any problems.
Great. There have been a lot of questions about time and length. Most ceremonies last 1.5 to 2 hours long.
You can typically the commencement ceremony is 90 minutes.
Yes. One question here, what time should we get there? So there is a general timeline on our website for commencement. Parking lots open at 6 a.m. Gates open at 7. The ceremony or processional portion will kind of start about 9:15, and then the ceremony begins at 9:30. Most all ceremonies, doors open 1 hour prior to the start of the ceremony.
We've also been having a few questions about bags and what can be brought into commencement and stuff like that. So if you could just talk a little bit about that, that would be super helpful.
Sure. If you visit our frequently asked questions section on the website, it gives more detail because I may miss a few things, but clear bags are not required. You can bring in a bag. We don't allow backpacks. With our new Evolve system, there will be no bag search unless you walk through and the Evolve system goes off. They may take that opportunity to search your bag. You are allowed to bring in 1 sealed bottle of water. So just letting people know, I know sometimes beverages are not allowed in venues, but we do allow one. It has to be sealed. A beverage can be brought in, but clear bags are not required, but I would encourage you to visit the frequently asked questions section because it does give a detailed list. Like we don't allow umbrellas in. I know it sounds silly, but we don't allow signs in as well. Again, it's just a viewing thing. It's for the comfort of everyone around you so that there's not something impeding someone else's view. So I hope that answers.
And Leah, you may have said this, no backpacks, right? Or bags need to be smaller than, I think it's 16 by 16 by 8. So
thank you. Yeah.
That seems to be standard, stadium bag size these days.
And that doesn't include things like, medical equipment that you need or things like that. There's obviously exceptions to those things, but we will have signage all throughout the parking lots. Again, that does list all the things that are prohibited to be brought in, just so you don't get to the gate and then not be allowed to bring it in. So so anyway, but I would encourage you to visit the frequently asked questions because I may have missed a detail in there. So.
And then we also had a few family members asking about if they're able to bring like signs or anything in.
No, we don't allow signs. Mostly it's a visual thing. You wouldn't want someone to be holding up a giant sign in front of you at the moment your student is walking across the stage. So we have banned signs for that reason. And balloons, I'm not sure. We don't allow latex balloons. Some places, I know at Clayton Hall, there's a few ceremonies we don't allow balloons in there, mostly because they do set off they've set off the fire detectors, and we've had to evacuate the facility. So a lot of times, some of the venues, we don't allow balloons to come in as well.
Events that take place in Delaware Stadium are rain or shine. So, keep a close eye on the weather. We will try to adjust or perhaps, shorten an event if there's a weather situation, but we hold them in the rain as well. So.
And then we've also had a few questions on just general items being sold at any point. So like maybe like
Flowers.
UD general swag, flowers is one.
Yeah. So concessions will be open in the stadium and in the BCC for people to get snacks or drinks. And then we do have a vendor outside of most of our ceremonies that sell all kinds of things. Bouquets of flowers, leis, different types of UD stuff. During commencement at the stadium, our bookstore will also be open in their kiosk to selling UD stuff as well. So we will have those at all the ceremonies.
Beth and Leah, can you talk to us a little bit about rain and how folks can be prepared, or if there would be any rain delays?
Yes. So we have had rain delays before, or we've shortened ceremonies that are actually, it's not just rain. It would be, you know, other threats, wind or lightning threats. But we do not reschedule ceremonies, so it's a rain or shine event. And you know, in the case of inclement weather, could be canceled, but we keep a close eye on it, and we'll know more. You know, we notify everybody as quickly as we can in those situations. So poncho, we recommend ponchos that and rain gear. No umbrellas are not allowed. So if it looks like not be the best weather, we would recommend rain gear.
And then we've had a few questions about parking, but also about like what does traffic look like leaving and coming to event, but mostly about leaving afterwards.
I think we have an amazing parking team. I'll be honest. We partner with the city of Newark. We partner with DelDOT. They bring in a lot of personnel, a lot of signage. So as you approach, especially the athletic complex, which is where the majority of the ceremonies are taking place, there will be parking attendants. They will be directing you to the closest parking space. If you end up parking on the side of the athletic complex, then you're within walking distance. If you end up parking on the Star campus, which is across the street, we have shuttles running every several minutes to get you across the street. We also have golf carts available, but it's very smooth. We do encourage, you know, if you want to take Lyft or things like that, we have a designated spot for Lyft and Uber for that. But I think we have a very well run, because I feel like parking is one of the most important things. And the last couple of years, it's run very, very smoothly. I would encourage people to get there early. Again, it is general seating, especially for commencement. We expect 20,000 people, and you know, to get in there, get a good seat, and not delay. And with our Evolve system too, getting into the stadium, security checks are just way quicker than they ever have been. So I'm very excited about that. But we do have a great staff out there. Again, if you have that placard, yes.
That's what I was going to ask about ADA placards. And
yeah, if you have one, make sure it's displayed. A parking attendant will direct you to, we increase our ADA capacity as well for events like this. So they will direct you to the closest ADA spot. Again, we do have golf carts assisting as well that are, and all of our shuttles are ADA accessible as well too. We don't reserve ADA parking. We're really not allowed to, actually, but we do have an extended amount that we designate on commencement day. So additional tickets. So on our ticket page, we have our initial opening for tickets now is until it goes until May 10th, that students can go in, reserve their tickets, and they're guaranteed those tickets. After May 10th, we assess our capacity, and if we're able to open up additional ticketing for our ceremonies, we'll designate the ceremonies, how many additional we can, and an email will go out to students, and that extra ticketing window opens up May 14th to the 19th. We don't anticipate there will be additional for commencement just due to capacity. But there might be for several of the convocations, which is the ceremony where the students do walk across the stage and have their name read. So we do anticipate there being extra tickets for those ceremonies available during that window of time.
Leah, how
And-
about pictures? I noticed a few questions about, can people take pictures on the field or,
We don't allow anyone on the field except students during commencement. For all the convocations, we contract with Grad Images that takes pictures, sometimes 2 and 3 of each student as they walk across the stage, as they go past, as they get off the stage for another sort of posed picture with a backdrop. And then Grad Images contact students, or they can go to their website, and that's where they can purchase those tickets. For commencement, we have photographers on site. We do have Grad Images doing general shots, but and we do not allow, during a convocation ceremony, we do not allow anyone to approach the stage to take pictures of your graduates. That's why we have Grad Images on site. It just sort of we have thousands, sometimes up to 5,000 and 6,000 people attending these ceremonies. So it's not something we can allow. That's why we do contract with Grad Images to get professional pictures of your student. I hope that answered the correct question.
Leah, can you also talk about, well, there seems to be a lot of confusion about the amount of tickets you get from convocation versus commencement. And does the number of tickets you receive include one for the graduate, or is the graduate separate?
So the graduate is separate. Graduates do need a ticket to enter, and it's separate. For commencement, we're allowing 4 guest tickets per student. For the convocation, almost all of the convocations are allowing 6 guest tickets, with the exception of the College of Health Sciences is only allowing 4. Again, just due to capacity and the number of graduates. So those are the sort of the set amounts of tickets that are allowed. I hope that clears it. And so the 6 guest tickets does not include the graduate. So it's a graduate gets their ticket, and then they can get 6 guest tickets for their convocations.
there's a few questions about January graduates. I believe that they will be included in the
Yes.
the convocations and commencement of their area. So
Yeah, the students who graduate at the end of the fall term, so fall 2023 or winter 2024, and also summer 2024 graduates are included in spring 2024 ceremonies. Fall 2024 graduates are part of the class of 2025. They are not included because they're part of the next academic year.
We also have quite a few questions about bathrooms. Will bathrooms be available for folks?
No,
absolutely.
nobody can go to the bathroom. Yes, we have extra capacity. We've actually added capacity to our field house too, as well, to make sure that we have lots of, we'll have bathroom facilities throughout the parking lots as well. So we will have quite a bit of capacity in these venues.
All right, well, I think we can give you 2 a break for a couple minutes. We do have quite a few questions for Emily. If Emily can pop back on about senior week, in how folks can get tickets to events and registration for the picnic and things like that.
Yes. So registration for the concert, buying tickets for the concert, they're completely free. Tickets are available on the athletics website, and I can grab that link and I can put it in the chat in just a minute. Students can buy, I'm saying buy, they can register themselves for 1 ticket for themselves and up to three other tickets for their friends. We have about 1,000 tickets left last time I checked for the concert, so there's still plenty left to go around. For the picnic, I did just double check, and it looks like the picnic tickets are sold out currently. However, We do need to go through that list and verify that everyone that is registered is in fact a graduating senior. There is a waitlist feature on Student Central where students can join the waitlist. And if we find that there's non-seniors on that list, we will remove them and we will go to the waitlist. Currently, all information for Senior Week is currently live on the UD Programming Board's Instagram. They're the ones that are hosting all the events throughout the week. Additionally, all the events should be uploaded to Student Central by tomorrow if they're not already up there. And then finally, we will be sending out an all students email about the Senior Week events so that students have all the information that they'll need in order to attend all these events.
Thanks, Emily. We also had just a general question on, so some of the tickets can be for guests and for friends. Are any family members allowed at any of these events? Are they just for students? Could you clarify on some of that just a little bit more? I know.
Yeah, absolutely. So the events are meant for UD students. For the concert specifically, a student can buy a ticket. Only students can access tickets, but they will be able to get up to 3 tickets. So they can bring a friend from another university or a friend from home if they so wish to do so, but they will need to be a student in order to access those tickets. For the other events throughout the week, we're encouraging that it's only students, especially so we can try and serve our senior students on campus. If other folks end up coming to the senior fling, they won't be able to get access to any of the free giveaways, like the shirts, or they won't be able to use anything like the inflatable or the inflatables that we have out available because we're only allowing students to use those.
All right, Emily, I think those are our questions for you, but we do have a few other commencement questions. If Leah and Beth, you don't mind answering surrounding photography. When will photos be taken for students? Well, when will they be available for purchase? And are cameras allowed inside of the stadium?
So yes, cameras are allowed inside the stadium. You're not allowed to set up a tripod and put a camera on it and do that, but yes, absolutely, cameras are allowed in the stadium. The grad images, it usually takes a few weeks for them to curate all the data, because they get lists of students, they get photographs, they get a lot of information. But right after commencement, on our commencement website, we put up links to the grad images website, so they can keep checking. But it usually sometimes takes a few weeks to a month to access those pictures. But we put the information up on the commencement website right after commencement so that students can begin checking and seeing checking the grad images website for.
So we have a few more questions on items being able to be brought in. So are people allowed to bring outside food and beverages? And then with photos, are you able to bring those, photos, cameras? Are you allowed to carry them? Like, is there a size limit? And so on.
No, there's no size limit on cameras. It's maybe the camera bags that it's more like if someone has a giant bag, again, that's another bag that may need to be searched, but cameras are fine. Just no setting up of a tripod anywhere. Again, it impedes the view of everyone else. One sealed beverage is allowed, is allowed to come in, and you can pack your own snacks to come in as well. I think they have to be sealed package snacks. I don't think you can come in with a giant sandwich or something, but check the frequently asked questions website to just ensure.
Awesome. And then we had a few more clarifying questions about tickets and confirmation. So once the students request the tickets, how do the family members get the tickets? And then around what time would those confirmations be sent out?
I think students get confirmation immediately. They have an account that they're in. It's like buying a a ticket to a concert. And they'll have them in their university account with athletics. And there's all kinds of information on the tickets page of our commencement website of how to transfer them to their guests. And again, any of those questions with tickets can go directly to the ticket office. But our ticket page does have a lot of those instructions about how to transfer them, how to claim the tickets for the student, because they don't get them in their email, they get them in their account with athletics. So it shows you how to claim your tickets, how do you transfer tickets, how do my guests accept tickets. So all that is available on the ticket page of the commencement website. But again, a lot of questions can go directly to the ticket office and they will answer those questions. And again, the day of, the ticket window will be open to address some of these things. Grandma can't find the tickets or whatever, they'll be able to assist. They will not be able to provide additional tickets at that time, but they will be able to assist anyone who is having difficulty finding their tickets, all of that. I think some of these I answered. Doors for commencement, parking lots open at 6, gates open at 7, ceremony starts at 9:30. Lasts approximately 90 minutes. So there's a couple questions too. I did want to just someone had a question about the cum laude and Latin honors. Those are not determined because grades are not finalized by the time we have ceremonies. So the cum laude or the summa cum laude, the Latin honors aren't determined until the grades are all in for the spring semester. And diplomas are not given out at ceremonies. They're mailed from the registrar's office in the summer, July or August, mailed to their, I believe, home address. Someone had a question about tailgating. We don't allow tailgating in the parking lots.
We also had a question about communications that are being sent to the graduates. So time for arrival, does that differ? Is that different? What does that look like on the graduate side of stuff? Like how much information are they being sent? How frequently?
Yeah.
How can we get the parents to make sure they're checking?
So individual convocation coordinators are communicating with their graduates for their convocations, telling them when to arrive, where they're to report, how they line up. So those coordinators are communicating with their students for that. For commencement, we do communicate as we get closer. There is no other different instructions because they're not lining up and processing in. They're coming into the stadium and they're just taking their seat on the field. So they really can arrive anytime, really before 9:30. So that one is a pretty a straightforward ceremony. But the convocation coordinators are communicating with their students for those ceremonies. Someone had a question here about honors cords. We don't give out cords. University of Delaware does not provide cords. Cords are associated with different societies and organizations that are outside UD. I don't know if the bookstore wants to weigh in on that, but that's basically the cords are associated with organizations that are not affiliated with the University of Delaware. So, um, mm, probably in I saw someone who mentioned that their child has not heard anything from learner convocation coordinators, and I'm fairly certain those communications have gone out, but I'm not positive. But I do know that learner does communicate with their students. There was another question about, do students enter in separately for the convocations? Yes, they do. They have separate entrances. Those are communicated to them. There'll be lots of signage as well. You arrive at the complex and you don't know where the field house is. We're going to have lots of signage. You don't know where the Bob Carpenter Center is. We'll have signage on where to direct you to that area as well. But students do have a separate check-in for their convocations because they line up separately and then process into the ceremony.
I did see another question about just student seating and if there's assigned seating, how does that look like? Are families able to tell which side the student's going to be on, and how would that work?
For commencement, for student seating on the field, it's just general seating. They can sit with their friends. They don't have to sit with their college. For all the convocations, it is, again, they're processing in together and they are divided up by departments. A lot of them are, engineering is mechanical engineers together, chemical engineers together, because they are then, as they process across the stage, that's how their name is read, and they're doing it by department. But again, that is all coordinated by the coordinators that day. Students come in, they check them in, they line them up. They have their name reading card and they sort of handle it. As far as what side they're on, it's hard to determine. In the field house, there are no sides. It's just one section where students are. In the BCC, there are kind of sides, but they're not that big. So I'm not sure that that I understand it could be at the stadium, but they're all sort of grouped together. Even learner that's at the stadium, they're all sort of sitting together. So.
Leah, I noticed several questions about chairbacks or cushioned seats. Can they be brought into the stadium or not? For the bleacher seats?
Yes. Yes, they can.
Good.
Okay, so I think, we do have a few more questions in the chat, but I think they are a little bit more nuanced. They might dictate just a more dedicated response. So I think we will call the session here. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Leah. Thank you for everything. Appreciate it. Everyone, thank you so much for attending. This webinar is recorded, so we'll be able to post it in the Blue Hen Family Hub and get you a copy of it. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and email commencement@udel.edu. We know you have a lot of questions and have some specifics, so that's the best way to get your questions answered. Also visit the commencement website, as there's a lot of FAQs that are there and can hit on those finer details. So once again, thank you everyone for attending, and thank you so much. And look out for the next UD Connect.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.